Alright, so for this tutorial we're going to go through and I'm going to show you guys how to create a sheet schedule and then also how to put together essentially the cover sheet for the assignment here with a perspective view. So I've gone ahead and I've just opened up, picked up from the last tutorial, we're looking at some of the sheets in here. I'm going to go ahead and, the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and go to this guy. I'm going to rename this instead of the basement plan since there's no basement. We're going to go ahead and set this up as our cover sheet. So if I right click on this, I can go ahead and rename it. And so I can go ahead and just set this as, we'll just call this cover sheet. So I'll hit OK. You'll see that this comes over here and also updates there. So there's a relationship that's connected into the sheet set in the document. And so what we can do, the first thing we're going to do is once we're done modeling, essentially everything that we're going to do is going to be somewhere in the View tab. So go ahead under View, we're going to go ahead and create a sheet list. And there's a bunch of different stuff in here that's related to the construction process that once you guys get into firms, you guys will probably be a little bit more detailed about this. For what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and just add the sheet number, the sheet name, and we'll add a count as well. Alright, and so we're going to go ahead and hit OK, and you can add parameters if you want, if this is inadequate for what it is that you're needing to be able to do, but we're not going to go into that right now. So hit OK, and we have the sheet schedule, and so there's like one sheet per each one of these guys, and then we have the names in here. Okay, and so what we can do is that we actually see that over here under the schedules and quantities. We're going to go ahead and click and just drag and drop that onto our cover sheet, and we can go ahead and place it. Once we've done that, we can go ahead and drag the names of these guys out, and I'll pull this in. We can go ahead and place that guy. Okay, and if you're using, hopefully you guys are using some kind of grid in the future, just sort of arbitrarily placing this. But you can see in here we have each one of these things to the corresponding guys, first floor plan. So if we rename any of these guys, the schedule will automatically update with it. Okay, so that makes this, again, some of the really nice relationships that Revit sets up for us. The very next thing we're going to do now is, for the cover sheet, we're going to have a 3D view of our project. So I'm going to go into 3D, and we're going to drop a perspective camera in here. So under the view, we're going to go ahead and insert camera. We're going to place the camera. Okay, and it's going to do something ugly like that. I'm going to go ahead and close all unutilized views, and I'm going to go ahead and go back into this view. And I'm going to come over here and hit tile. Alright, so now I have each one of these guys in here, so I can see the two views simultaneously. So I can then click and position the camera. You can see that that's going to start to update. And go ahead and dial that down, position this up, and there's a couple of things that we can do in here. We can, if we change the crop size, we can change the field of view and things like that, so we can make this bigger. So we'll make this 8 inches here by 5 inches, hit apply. You can see that opens that up in there. And then we can also orbit around and position this in the view itself. Okay. All right, and say if you're going through this and you really wanted to come in here and you were really enjoying being able to move the camera manually. If I could just orbit, I'm just jumping between Rhino and Revit. So we lost the camera; it's not showing up. If we right-click on this, we can go ahead and show the camera, and it will appear again. Okay. So once you get that all positioned, I'm going to say that that's adequate. We'll come in here and I'm going to go ahead and close this up so we can see. You're just going to click and drag this onto your cover sheet, and we're going to go ahead and place it. And you're going to note that that's very, very small relative to what it is we're hoping to accomplish with this. So we're going to have to make some adjustments here. So what we're going to do that, we're going to go back into our 3D view, and we're going to go ahead and select this, our cropping region. Click on this again. We can hit scale to lock proportions, then we can set dimensions. So say we wanted this thing to be 24 inches wide, that automatically will update. We hit apply, and if we go back into our sheet, then we can move that into position. Hopefully this thing will let me grab this pretty easily. Okay, and so now we're close. Hopefully you guys do a little bit more polished job on this. The next thing we want to do is we're going to go ahead and take this and we're going to hide this so we don't see that in our actual guy there. And so then we'll have our cover sheet with our rendered perspective on this. And if you zoom in here, we should hopefully come in here and rename this as well. Okay, you see that that also updates it as well. Alright. So I'll go ahead and maximize that out, and that's going to be the one of the last steps as we get in here to produce this stuff. And so you'll see here very shortly, once you guys go through the sheet list, all you're going to have to produce for this.